In today's lesson, we're going to learn how to divide polynomials, and we're going to use our abilities to factor polynomials and our expertise with exponent rules for this process. So let's jump right into the first problem. We have 5x to the third plus 4x to the fifth, all of that divided by x. Now we could rewrite this expression as 5x to the third over x plus 4x to the fifth over x. And from here we can use our exponent rules. There's a common factor. When we're dividing powers with the same base, we can subtract the exponents. So that would become 5x squared. And likewise, we could apply the same procedure here. This would become 4x to the power of 4. And there's our answer. We can tackle this problem in a similar fashion to how we just did the previous problem. We could write this as 20x to the power of 4 divided by 5x minus 35x to the power of 3 divided by 5x plus 15x squared divided by 5x plus 30x divided by 5x. And now that I've done that, I can divide the common factors in each. 20 divided by 5 is 4. X to the fourth divided by x is x cubed. And we'll go down the line here. 35 divided by 5 is 7. X to the third divided by x is x squared. Then we'll have 3x, and then we'll have 6. And that is our final answer. This problem is a little different than the other two because we have a binomial in the denominator, so we can't do this the exact same way. However, what I notice is that my numerator, the coefficients here in that constant all have a common factor of 4. So I'm going to divide that out right now. And I also notice that my denominator has a common factor of 2. So I'm going to divide that out. So as we're doing these problems, we really always want to look first for things like greatest common factors before we just dive in. Now I see that the 4 and the 2, they can be divided. So that's going to leave me with 2 times x squared minus 6x plus 9 over x minus 3. And to continue this, I need to factor this trinomial. The x squared minus 6x plus 9 is one of our perfect square trinomials. And we know from our special cases that we can factor this into x minus 3 squared. And that's all going to be divided by x minus 3. I don't need the parentheses there in the denominator, but I've included them. Now, we can use our exponent rules here. So we can divide this quantity by that quantity. And when I do that, I'm left with 2 times the quantity x minus 3. And that is our answer. So there's a lot of details you have to look for. Remember, you want to plan out these before you just jump into them, right? So just to recap, we saw there were things like greatest common factors that we took out. Then we noticed we had a special case for our trinomial. And then we used our exponent rules to finish it off. In our final example, we have another trinomial divided by a polynomial. And again, we're looking for things like greatest common factors or special cases that we can factor from the beginning before we just dive right in. I noticed that these three terms have a greatest common factor of 2, so we'll take that out. When I factor that out, I'm left with x squared plus 5x minus 50 divided by 2 times the quantity of x plus 10. Now I'm looking at this and I see that these will divide out. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. So that leaves me with just x squared plus 5x minus 50 divided by x plus 10. And now we have to go ahead and factor the numerator. So I'm going to need factors of negative 50 that add up to positive 5. So for me, that's going to be positive 10 and negative 5. So when we factor this, we have x squared plus 10x plus negative 5x minus 50 divided by x plus 10. And now I can group some of the terms here. And we can see that within the first set of parentheses, we have an x as a factor. And in the second set of parentheses, we have a negative 5 as a factor. I'm going to divide those out. And I'm left with x times the quantity of x plus 10 minus 5 times the quantity of x plus 10, all of which is divided by x plus 10. And if I factor that further, I've got x plus 10 times the quantity of x minus 5 divided by x plus 10. And we can see here that x plus 10 divided by x plus 10 is 1. So that leaves me with an answer of x minus 5. So that's our work for today. That's our goal, is to be able to divide polynomials. As always, if you need help, email me and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Good luck.